this is Pocket here with another Game Face, and this week we have some big news. Now basically it's news that has been talked about a few times on Game Face and has been covered by various other sites quite a few times as well, and that's Star Wars going free to play. Now let's take a look at Jeff Hickman's post on the Star Wars website. He said, and I quote, "First, you can continue as a subscriber, which gives you unlimited access to all game features and future game updates at no additional charge." So basically subs will get unlimited access to game updates and to, all the content, and they'll even be able to collect something called cartel coins. And people that are currently subscribed or have been subscribed since before the free-to-play change and after the free-to-play change will continue to collect these cartel coins. And basically what you'll get with those are vanity items, and I'm assuming things such as mounts and XP boosts of sorts. I'm just guessing, I'm not 100% sure, but they did mention that you would get various gear and other things. So that's kind of exciting, and a perk of course of subbing would be the fact that you get all the content. Now let's move on to the second quote. Second, you have the option to play free to level 50 with gameplay restrictions that limit game options and access to certain game content. So basically, if you want to play free, you can to level 50. If you're someone who enjoys the storylines and you want I'm imagining if it's game content, then you won't be able to achieve the highest level of gear. Now I'm imagining that people will be able to access through microtrans because it has been talked about quite a bit. So is this truly free to play? That's what I have to ask you. To an extent, yeah, it is. People who don't have a lot of time to play or people who aren't sure if they want to buy the game can play for free. They can enjoy content that they will be able to access regardless of whether they're paying or not. And so for someone who works a lot and during the weekdays he only gets like an hour to play, so he just wants to level for an hour, a guy or a girl will be able to do this. They'll be able to not feel like they're spending $15 on a game that they're only playing maybe a couple times during the week and mostly on the weekends. But to an extent, this will also be a no. It's not completely free to play because you still have to buy or sub, or you still have to buy or sub to the game in order to get all of the content. And that's kind of a big deal that, you aren't going to be able to access everything. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to be locking out. They might have mentioned it by now, but when I was reading this, they didn't mention it. They didn't say, we're locking you out of this, 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 and this. It might be the new zones that they come up with, as time goes on. It might be war zones. It might be ranked war zones. It might be, it might be just operations and maybe the higher level flashpoints in the future. So it could be anything at this point, but at the same time, we'll see. So while this doesn't sound necessarily pay to win, you will have to pay to get ahead. So it could be kind of considered that in a roundabout way. You have to pay in order to access in-game content in order for your character to get better geared or more experience or whatever that you need. And I'm imagining that's how it's going to be. So kind of, you have to pay in order to get better. I would like to note that going free to play like this is going to benefit them beyond just bringing people back, which I know is their goal, but like any game that is free to play or goes that endless trial route, basically what they're doing is they're eliminating the need to say they have subscribers. And by doing this, basically all those accounts become free to play accounts. They become accounts, they become players. Whether they're active players or not is not something they really have to say in their announcements from now on. So their numbers might actually increase However, they're just going to go based off sales and microtransactions from now on. And there are many other games who take advantage of this whole model and being able to say, well, we're technically not losing subs because we don't have subs and we go based on box sales and microtransactions. So if you want to compare according to that, well then our box sales just keep increasing, so therefore our players keep increasing. That's basically how this is going to go, and there are other games that will use the free-to-play and the fact that they have no subs to their advantage, and I will just call out Guild Wars. Guild Wars 2 is going to do this. They're going to say, well, technically we're not failing because we keep gaining players even if current active players is going down. We don't have to say that. And so a lot of developers, this isn't not just these two exclusively, but a lot of developers do use this wordplay, and it's something that I feel like, despite it being so obvious, that a lot of people still don't recognize that developers, including Blizzard, are using major wordplay when they announce their players and their registered users and whatever other terms they want to use to be more vague. Anyway, let's move on to a game that I mentioned earlier, and that's Guild Wars 2. Headstart is announced for August 25th. On Twitter it said at midnight Pacific, but on their website it says at noon Pacific. Now, I am under the impression, I do think that one of the tweets that was kind of vague after that, basically said that the website's wrong, the countdown needs to be fixed. And I'm pretty sure it's midnight Pacific and not noon Pacific. I don't know, there's a lot of people that were excited about midnight because it's on a Friday and that means people get to stay up all night and play Guild Wars! I mean, that would go in line with other releases at midnight, like World of Warcraft expansions and stuff, I'm just saying, so. Are you going to be playing? I'm imagining a lot of people are going to be playing this, and I am excited to see just, you know, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna stack up on Monster and Cheetos as well, so see you there.